welcome back to my channel. I want to have a quick update about my progress. We talked about my miscarriage experience in last episode. I want to take this opportunity to share my experience about having the decision to go for the IVF treatment. I think the main reason I want to go for the IVF treatment after miscarriage is because I watched some videos. Some people have recurrent miscarriages experience, which I found it is quite stressful. If constantly fail the pregnancy, it is quite horrible to me. It is not something you can prevent for the next pregnancy. Also, one of my friends, she terminated her pregnancy because Down syndrome baby. So lots of uncertain for me. I just want to reduce the risk of the miscarriage again for my next pregnancy. So after that, we seek for the professional help. Before that, we took almost 3 months break. Meanwhile, I took the COVID vaccine, Pfizer. If I'm pregnant next time, I don't want to having the COVID vaccine while I'm pregnant. For that reason, I just quick to get 2 doses of the Pfizer. Meanwhile, the hospital contact me. From my pregnancy tissue, they can't find what caused the miscarriage, but they come up with the conclusion if possibly it is the chromosome issue. I have Bupa health insurance for myself. As you know, it does not cover IVF treatment. And also, the NHS is not consider us as an infertility couples because we can conceive naturally. So we has to fund our IVF treatment by ourselves. I also want to take this opportunity to share more about the IVF treatment. What is the latest technology about the treatment to help people to conceive, because I noticed lots of my friends, they have no ideas about the IVF, and they always think, oh, it is very easy to have a twins baby and put too many embryo back to your body and then you carry on pregnancy, but it is something not such easy. There are lots of challenges inside the process. So I want to take this opportunity to share more about it. Before we seek for the professional help, I keep myself healthy and keep my BMI under 21, take some supplement and start to read some articles, books about how to help to conceive and how to have a positive result from the IVF. So we go to visit the fertility center. I have my baseline scan check. It is mainly to check how many follicles I have and what is my AMH level. To check AMH level, it is something like a full blood test. It is quite easy. And what is AMH? AMH is the index to know how many eggs you still reserve in your body. That is the number, the level that give you idea how many eggs you will have. The baseline checking, it is something like checking your follicle. Each follicle can potentially produce 1 egg. By theory, the more follicle you have, the more eggs you will have. But some people have too many follicles, so they will become OHSS, that kind of issue. I have around 10 follicles. They are evenly on both my left ovule and the right side as well. So it is quite evenly. But the doctor told me each cycle, it is slightly different. So for example, this cycle have 10 follicles, next cycle maybe have 9, next cycle maybe 8, or next cycle have 12 follicles. So each cycle is different. So it gives idea to see how well your body to reserve the follicle and eggs. In my age range, everything looks normal, nothing issue. My husband also checked his sperm. The result come back, everything looks normal. Based on our results, it seems like we don't have any infertility issue, which is good because we are going to go for the treatment. So if we find any problem, we have to address the problem, isn't it? So I want to go for the treatment. It is using the PGT-A technique. It is pre-implantation genetic testing for aneuploidy. So I mentioned it in the last episode. It is something like a technique can help you to look at the embryos you have to see whether they have any chromosome imbalance or any issue with the chromosome number because if it is a normal embryo, it should have 46 chromosomes. If one less or one more or the number is not 46, it will be a problem. It will be cause the miscarriage later on stage. I would say it is very advanced technique help you to find out the chromosome issue on the embryo. If you put back the embryo, it is a normal embryo, 46 chromosome, it is more likely to carry on a healthy pregnancy. So, however, the PGT-A testing, it is not a 100% accuracy. I read lots of articles, it is around 98% of the accuracy. So, it is not 100%, but at least it helps you to get some more information about the embryo before you put back inside your body. So, I find it is not too bad. The one challenging thing is, if you use the PGT-A technique, you will have fewer embryos available to freeze because it is an elimination process. For example, you put 5 of the embryo go to test for the PGT-A, maybe come back 5 all aneuploidy or only 1 or 2 normal. You will expect fewer embryos available to freeze, or maybe you need to get more ones of the egg retrievals in order to achieve the euploid embryo. So it is quite challenging process. I saw some ladies on the forums said that even they put back the PGT-A test normal embryo inside their body, they still could fail their pregnancy. Based on that, I watched some expert doctors' videos and articles about it. The point is, this PGT-A testing can only test the number of the chromosome inside the embryo, whether they have chromosome balance or not, 46 chromosome or not, but they could not find individual chromosome DNA damage. So because some of the embryo maybe have correct number of the chromosome, 46, but individual DNA damage, this technique could not find out that. So that may be the reason caused failure. It is not 100%, but it will increase the chance of success of IVF treatment, but it is not 100%. It is not perfect. For me, it does not mean the test is useless. It is still worth to try to use this one, especially I seriously want to avoid miscarriage again. So it is give me some sort of confidence or more information about the embryo before put back in my body. So now we talk about the process of egg retrieval. Before that, I always think you just need to stimulate your eggs and then you get many eggs out and then easily and then to go for the IVF. It is not something straightforward like that. I remember one of the challenging things is when you do the medication injection to make your follicle go bigger, you will expect each follicle have egg inside, but it is not like that. In reality, it is not like that because the follicle supposed have egg inside, but it could be empty. It depends on how well your body, your follicle, they react to the medication. So sometimes inject too many medication, but the follicle didn't go. So if they don't go bigger, it is less likely to have an egg inside. They could be empty. Another thing is the follicle size, they go different. For example, you stimulate for 10 days, let's say. Some of the follicles, they can go something like a 16 mm, 19 mm, 20 mm, but some of them only 6 mm, 7 mm, 10 mm, under 10 mm. So you will find out you have a couple of follicles go ideally to have egg inside. My clinic told me the ideal size of the follicle is 16 mm or more. Between 16 mm to 20 mm, it is more likely to have an egg inside the follicle. If the follicle less than 16 mm, it is more likely immature eggs inside or it is an empty follicle. The challenging thing of the egg retrieval is some of them almost catch up, like you have couple of 16 mm or 20 mm. Some of them only 15 mm, 13 mm, almost there. But you can't raise all follicle go on the same page because bigger size of follicle like 20 mm, they could be expiry if you don't retrieval on time. They need to find a right point to do the egg retrieval and then give up the rest of the follicle. Do you know what I mean? I mean, for example, you have something like 13 mm, 14 mm follicle, they almost there to 16 mm because of you don't want to sacrifice the bigger follicle. You has to sacrifice the remaining one, smaller one. So this is the most challenging process of the egg collections. Another thing is we are not doing traditional IVF, we are doing ICSI. It is something like they select the best sperm and then inject single sperm into the egg. We call that process called ICSI. For doing ICSI, you have to have a mature egg to do because if egg is not mature or not nice shape, once they go through the process, put the sperm inside the egg, through this process, they will not able to fertilize. It is quite important to have a nice quality mature egg. So the first step is the day one, you have to have 2 pins in the center of the embryo. If you only have 1 pin or 3 pin or 4 pin, it means they fertilize at normal, so they has to eliminate. Day 2, they usually not update. The day 3 has to have 8 cell. Some people have 6 cell. It is more likely fail. 8 to 10 is the normal. And then day 4 should be molar. Day 5 will be blastocyst. Sometimes embryo blastocyst on day 6. So depends on the embryo development. If any embryo fail to reach the blastocyst stage, they could not do the PGT-A test. Once the embryo become blastocyst, the embryologist pick some cell sample, 4 to 5 cells biopsy, and then they need to send that one to the lab for the PGT-A testing. And then remaining that blastocyst embryo, they will freeze it for later on stage. So this is very challenging. So if your embryo fail any stage, they will be eliminated. Has to reach blastocyst stage in order to do the PGT-A test. The PGT-A result usually come back within 2 to 3 weeks. If the biopsy less than 20% at normal cell, they will call it euploid, mean normal. They will say it is a normal embryo. If something like 20% to 80% at normal cells, it will be mosaic. Some of the clinic may consider to transfer the mosaic embryo. If it is more than 80% of abnormal cell, they will call it aneuploidy. So they will assume your embryo is abnormal, couldn't be used. Mainly, most of the clinic, they will not transfer aneuploidy, the abnormal embryo. If I never go through the process, I never know actually doing IVF treatment. It is quite challenging. I have couple of mosaic embryos, but I do not feel confident to put back them to try. And that's the reason I come out for egg retrievals, because I really want to have a normal embryo to transfer to try. My first egg retrieval, I only have 4 blastocysts. Unfortunately, they are either mosaic or abnormal embryo, so I just go straight away to the second one. Second time, I have more egg retrieved. I have 8 eggs retrieved on the second time. Unfortunately, the result again, it is a mosaic and abnormal embryo. For the third one, I changed the clinic because I have some conflicts about my clinic. My clinic lack of the communications. I don't know in other countries, is it same as or it is just in UK, it is like that. First clinic, it is something like every time they only put the nurse scan my follicle, every time give different results. Sometimes, you have 10, or sometimes have 12, and then sometimes only come back have 8. So I feel every time they reading is different. And also, because they don't have patient coordinator, so every time I need to repeat the whole story again, and then so need to explain all the process, and then to make them understand what was last time, what was the conversation, what was the result last time. I think it is quite confusing. I feel it is very uncomfortable and make me feel very anxious. And another thing is my consultant, he wasn't good at all. And I remember after the first cycle I failed, through the phone consultation, he promised me to put me through the next collection in the next month, coming month, because I want to do the egg retrieval as soon as possible, because I don't want to waste longer time. One cycle finish, another cycle continue. I don't want to waste too long time waiting for another egg retrieval. After I wait 2 weeks and nobody called me, nobody contacted me, so I contacted clinic, and that clinic told me the doctor went for the holiday and he didn't pass on the message to the team to tell them I need to have an egg retrieval in the coming month. So I was so angry. Do you know, I found myself was so stressful, the whole process. And you are not supposed to be stressed. To be honest, if you're more stressed, more unhappy, more angry, more upset, and your egg quality will be affected. For me, it is a nightmare, very awful experience. If I fail again, I'm going to change clinic, no matter what. They told me because their lab need to closing in the coming month, renovation or something, so they need to close for 2 weeks. It basically tell me I can't have an egg retrieval in the coming month. So what happened is they put me for the following month. So asked me to take extra medicine called Logestra. It is a delay your period for the egg retrieval. For the second clinic, it is a lot better. At least they have a patient coordinator, so I don't need to repeat my story all the time. So they know where I am, what is the process, what is the next step. So it will be much easier. I finally get one PGT-A normal embryo in the cycle 3 and one in the cycle 4. So I totally have 2 U-point embryo available, fees and available to transfer. And for me, the medication, it is okay, better than I expected. It is not that painful when injection stimulate my belly. It is not that bad. I remember one medication called Menopause. At the beginning when I use it, I found it is little bit quite something, because when you inject and then you can feel the medicine look like explode, feel little bit pain. But after lay down for a while, I don't feel that pain. So I found it is okay for me. For the operation of the egg retrieval, I can tell the more eggs being retrieved, the more pains you will have. For example, my first cycle only have couple of, I think it is 6 or 4 to 6 follicle being retrieved. I found not that pain. But for the second cycle and first cycle and fourth cycle, I start to feel it is very painful. So the more follicle you have, the more egg you're being retrieved, the more pains you will have through the operations. I just feel it is like a heavy period pain. It is something like feel your abdomen very heavy, little bit sore. I took a couple of days to recover, but it is fine. I don't have big issue with it. Also, I want to share my final thoughts. Do not tell people you are doing IVF treatment if possible, because not everyone understands the challenges of the process. And a lot of people casually say some words which could hurt your feeling. You will not feel very comfortable about those comments and criticism unless you know that person is really supportive and always side by you, and no matter what you make the decision, they always there for you. Otherwise, don't tell anyone. I remember I come up with one comment why you do IVF? Why you can't conceive naturally? Isn't it conceive naturally will be quicker than you do IVF? I just feel people say like that because they do not understand what I have been going through. So they easily, casually say like that. It doesn't mean they want to hurt me. It is just they don't understand. They don't understand why I feel so scared. Carry a normal pregnancy, for some people it is really easy, but for some people it is very difficult. You can't think because you easily to get pregnant, so you assume everyone easy to have a healthy pregnancy. I don't blame other people, but I just feel it is something like sometimes better don't talk. I understand the whole process is quite a long process and lots of ups and downs. Sometimes you really want to talk to someone, so you has to find the right person to talk about if you really want to talk about the process, because it is quite challenging. It is not such straightforward. It doesn't mean you go for the treatment, you are easily to have a healthy baby. No one can guarantee. A lot of people could fail with the treatments, and so it is not a guaranteed process. So it is needed to be really talk to the right person, or if you can hold back yourself, don't talk at all. In next episode, I will talk about the transfer day and also all the updates about the progress. And I hope you enjoy this video, and hope you can click like, share, and subscribe my channel. And see you next time. Bye.